everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Why I Love Flagler County, your local podcast spotlighting local businesses and local residents on what they love about being a part of Flagler County. So today I'm super excited to have my guest Khris with us today. Khris, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. Well, Chris and I met about maybe 2 months ago or so. But he's been involved with my dad's networking group and the daily accountability calls. So we basically see each other every single day. And let me tell you, he has a great vision for what he's doing and his business. So I'm super excited to learn more and kind of showcase that with everyone, all the viewers. So why don't you start us off and tell me a little bit about your journey coming here to Palm Coast?
Okay. We originally, me and my wife are originally from Ohio. We started a window cleaning and pressure washing business there. We ran that for about 12 years. Um, had to deal with the winters and bad weather. So probably around 4 months out of the year, we were kind of shut down with the window cleaning and pressure washing. And then we had to pivot, so we started doing snow removal during that time and also hanging Christmas lights. But
Oh,
seeing the drag of gray skies and stuff like that and being stuck inside for 4 months, and I just didn't like the cold weather, so we decided to think about moving, and we were wondering where we were going to move. So my wife started diving into North Carolina, South Carolina, and then I said, why don't we even go a little bit further south, you know? So we ended up in Palm Coast. We decided on Palm Coast and then sold that company. It is still running to this day and still has 4.8 stars on
nice.
Google. But once we got down here, we decided that I tried to go into cybersecurity. I did that, got my certification and stuff like that through University of Michigan. Did that online, but then it just was so competitive. So we had to pivot and again and try to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? So we decided, okay, let's start a company. Where are we going to start, or how are we going to start this company? So it was like, again, we're back to square one of starting a company. So, but we're totally happy about it.
That's awesome. And I would love for you to share a little bit about what you're doing because you're doing some really great stuff and really helping out people, especially here in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. When we had the other company, we moved it to, we kind of elevated the type of clients that we wanted. So we went for higher end houses. And most of the time, we didn't deal with the owner of the house. We dealt with a house manager. Now, for me, I was blown back. I was like, wow, a house manager? I thought that's mom or I thought that's dad, but no. I would, when we were thinking about how we're going to set up this company or what we're going to do for this company, we were thinking like, what can we do to where it's going to be low overhead? We don't need a storage area for equipment, anything like that. And we came up with house management. So what we do is we go in and take care of the day to day. We target clients that enjoy luxury services but don't want to deal with the day to day things. So this could be as far as scheduling travel. We can help schedule the travel for the client. We can help get transport to and from the airport. For the home, we can schedule HVAC. Since we're in Florida and we have a hurricane coming, we can have handyman companies come out and put up hurricane shutters, put them up and take them down. So we basically are trying to alleviate the stress of maintaining a house, and then it allows them with more time to spend with family, do family events, things like that. And they're not waiting around for a contractor to show up between 12 and 4.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I don't know if I've heard, I know as I've gotten more and more involved in Flagler County, I've learned about different things that people do, especially, rental houses are so big. Part-time rental houses are really big too. So learning about all of these things has been really fascinating for me. So it's awesome that you guys are doing that. Because it's not easy to wait around. You're like, oh, I want to do this that day, but this is the only day he can come in, and then I have to wait, and then I have to obviously make sure that we all trust each other here in Palm Coast and in Flagler. Thankfully enough, we're pretty safe, but doesn't mean you're just going to leave your house with a random stranger inside.
Right.
That's working on things and taking things apart and then putting it back together. So it's awesome that you guys are doing that. So I'd love for you to share a little bit on how people can learn more about, your business, about what you guys are doing, and reaching out if they have any questions.
Okay, yeah. So we do have we are on social media. We have a Facebook page, and then we're also at www.beachsidehousemanagement.com. And on there, it's going to give a list of all of the items and services we provide. It has two separate sides to it, though. They can't kind of mesh a little bit, but there is differences. There is the full-time and part-time house management, and then there is house check-ins, and then there's three packages for the house check-ins. Everything is tailor custom to each client's unique wants and needs. So if there's something you want added, taken away, we can make that happen. Yes.
Wow. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you brought that up because I was about to ask you, like, what are some of the things that, that someone might be watching and go, hey, I have been thinking about, wanting to kind of step away or travel more or do something like that. What is the best way to do that? So I'm glad that you have your services. So I'll make sure I have all of those links and everything that I mentioned in the description. People can click, copy and paste, post a little bit easier, whatever makes sense. And so just learning a little bit more about it never hurts to reach out and ask any questions as well. But Khris, before we wrap up, I know you've not necessarily been on Palm Coast the longest or anything, but what do you and Tracy like to do around town? Maybe places to go, events to go to, groups to join. Anywhere people can kind of get active with the community, kind of put themselves out there.
Okay, so our love is the beach. So we can go to Flagler and sit there pretty much all day. But what we've been trying to do is go and experience different beaches along up and down. So we've went as far as Ormond all the way up to Marineland. So there's a lot of really good beaches. And the food around there. I really haven't ran into any place that is that wasn't good. But our favorite is it's on one A1A. It's a Cuban restaurant there. It's Cuban Cafe, I think it is.
Nice.
It's so good if you like that authentic Mexican Cuban type food. It's very good.
Oh my gosh, I'll definitely have to try it. I love Cuban food. All of that stuff is so good. Like they all have their subtle differences
Mhm.
um versus each country. But they always taste good. So you can never go wrong there. But that's awesome. Marineland is also beautiful. Me and my dad try to go like every other week or something in the morning on Saturdays, and it's probably one of my favorite spots. And it's pretty hidden, I want to say. Like when we go in the morning, it's not super crowded or anything, even in the summer, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
we when we first got down here, we went there and went to go see the dolphins that they have there at the little
Yeah.
facility. It was a really cool experience. My daughters loved it.
Yeah, there's so many cool things. Like I've had a few friends who worked there, and like it was the most fun experience summer mostly that they had. But Khris, I really appreciate you coming on, sharing a few minutes about what you're doing, which is so cool. And again, I'll have everything in the description. People can click, copy, paste, figure out what makes sense for them. And yes, I really appreciate you taking the time to. This has been a lot of fun getting to know about this.
Perfect. I appreciate you and thank you for having me on.
Of course. And to everyone watching, I really appreciate you as well, and I will see you next time.